Welcome to the Maritime Startup Ecosystem Interviews, a series we created to give even more exposure to startups from the Maritime Startup Ecosystem Network. Today I'm here with Thomas Anastaselos of Orderstate. Orderstate offers end-to-end cross-company tracking and collaboration SAS platform for the supply chain industry. Hi Thomas,
Thanks.
Good to see you.
Hi Leonardo, good to see you.
Hi.
Great to chat with you.
Fantastic. Thank you for taking the time. How's the weather now in Greece? Are you in Greece, right? Are you based in Greece?
I'm in Greece. In Greece, yes. The weather is actually starting to become almost proper summer. Almost.
Yeah.
So we're very close to that.
Which makes us suffer even more because of this thing that we are bound to stay at home, and so we can focus more on work.
That's the spirit.
So again, thank you for being here. I would like to ask you to start with, for our the people who are watching this, if you can tell us something about you, yourself, and your company, Orderstate.
Sure. So I'm Thomas Anastaselos. I'm the co-founder, one of the three co-founders of Orderstate. My background is engineering, to work in the oil and gas energy space, IT consulting, that kind of thing in business development. And the last roughly 2 years with my other two co-founders, we're working on Orderstate. Let me tell you a bit what is Orderstate. Let me just give maybe a brief introduction. So Orderstate is a software as a service, a platform which enables end-to-end tracking and collaboration for B2B shipments, meaning containers and the likes. So we are monitoring, we're managing the whole operations for the lifetime of an order, from order placement for the time that it gets out of the factory or from the shipper to the port, to customs clearance and whatever paperwork needs to be made, to the whole journey in the sea, till again the port, again the customs, to the distribution center, and to the end customer. And that way we're providing all the stakeholders with the same view of what's happening. So we're providing full traceability. We are giving them the chance to give to their end customers a clear view of where is their shipment, something like a DHL tracking number, but focused on the container.
Yes.
As I mentioned, collaboration, so a single source of truth, and it's all being done via integrations with the various systems that all the stakeholders might be using, plus integrations with external services that provide additional information and enable us to do some kind of predictive analytics, predictive notifications of what might go wrong or right, and the likes. So all in all, our customers use us because they can have a very quick view, dashboard, helicopter view, what's happening, what do I need to focus, do I need to do any corrective action, because my production will be delayed, because my raw material is coming late, those kind of things.
Okay, got it. So you mentioned the keyword for my next question, which is clients. And in fact, my question was, or is, about business development. How are you doing with clients? Which means also at what level of development you are. So are you still at a validation stage with pilots, or are you running already with clients? And if so, how is it going, and how many you have, and so on? Tell us something about this, your relationship with clients.
Sure. We are, I would say, somewhere in between. I don't know. So we have done a few pilots. We also have some production. I don't know how to call it. Some clients, ongoing clients.
Yeah.
But we are definitely keep developing. By no means we're completely 100% done. We're still doing things, and we're still extending our capabilities and offerings. To some extent, we're also doing some additional work with the distribution part. So once it lands in the distribution center or the warehouse, to provide better visibility till the shipment reaches the last mile to the client. Business development wise, there was a bit of a slowdown due to COVID, obviously, but it was also, in some cases, it was a bit of a slowdown in terms of when can we start, because we had some pilots and some projects in mind that we're still discussing. They might have, slowed down a bit because of the resources of the people that have, slowed down as well. There was also an opportunity with other clients in which, in some cases, where the workload was a bit less due to that this things in more open-minded and try new things. So it has created both opportunities and a bit of all. I think we are, in decent shape. Okay. Otherwise, we are, of course, expanding, doing more and more projects and pilots. Crystallizing on which segments are more interesting, doing some validation in that sense.
Okay, so validation on different segments. I'm very sorry, the connection keeps going sort of odd, and we miss some words, but so far it seems that we can understand what we are saying. I see that at the moment you're frozen, but we will stay in this mode with two screens, and I apologize with the viewers because they prefer to see you talk than just myself just nodding, but we do whatever we can, and actually we'll get some better connectivity soon, so that we can really run these interviews much better. So, but now, okay, so I think it's the right development, well, the development stage where you've gone through the pilots already. You're still say experimenting, because as a startup you're still developing your product and finding the right fit with the market, but you have already paying customers, which is great, and you can expand this base, and actually you are experimenting with different customer segments, so that you really you're looking for the perfect spot where everything can work great. So I think that in this situation where you are developing and exploring, are you raising funds? Did you just raise funds, or are you going to raise funds? Please make sure that you don't share confidential information.
Sure. So fundraising wise, yes, we have that. It is on our mind. It is not. We are fundraising basically. It's not the primary, the key focus, but we do look for investors. So far, we have continued discussions with a variety of investors, and we believe, we hope that something, will close soon. It is important actually for both sides to see how some of those pilots will and those cases that we're examining will go, because this will also define the strategy and where do we invest more. So it will be a good thing, in both ends.
Right. Okay. And actually, before we started the interview, you mentioned something that you're doing, I think, in terms of experimenting different areas that you might want to share here. That might be interesting also for investors and for the other.
So yes, we are also exploring another part of the business. Our is you've got the staff in the various consumers, and sometimes you want that to continue the flow. So we are including some kind of information of delivery and proof of delivery kind of features, so that people will have the information that something got actually delivered. And along with some basic, planning and again, analytics and routing of those orders. So those things are in pilot phase. We are also creating the necessary tools, such as mobile apps for the drivers that are picking up the goods and delivering it.
Yeah.
Those kind of things. And its applicability is not only in B2B in that case, but also B2C. The end user could very easily be a consumer.
Yeah.
So that's the idea. Yeah.
So basically, it's you're exploring this area where you can help your clients, your B2B clients, help their final consumers. So it's not just B2B to B, but it's also B2B to C.
Exactly.
Fantastic. So very, very interesting.
Exactly.
I'm very sorry for all these troubles during this conversation caused by technology. we are leveraging technology to make the world better, but sometimes it sort of bites back. Today was the case when technology bite back. But I think that's great that we could have this conversation, and at least people will know about what you're doing, and they can always reach out to you and understand more. And actually, we are now launching in these days a new website where we have the entire maritime ecosystem startups listed, and with profiles, individual profiles for the startups, where in the profile there is also this interview. There are several a lot of data about the startups, of course, data that is public and that is publicly accessible, so that it's nothing confidential. But every startup has a page that has also a confidential section that will be shared only to vetted maritime companies and investors, where the startup will be able to put, say, their sales pitch or their sales deck or the elevator pitch, all stuff that the startup would not want to share with the world, and definitely not with other startups, because you don't want to tell your competition what you're doing. But yes, something that you want to share with investors and with potential clients. So this is in the making. Tomorrow, well, in these days, that should be the pre-launch, the MVP launch. And we want really to see how's the reaction of the market of startups and maritime companies and investors about this, because we really think that we're in the position to establish these connections by being the hub of maritime startup-driven innovation. So crossing fingers, but not, I always say, well, crossing fingers. No, I don't cross fingers, because then I can't type. So but let's say we cross finger virtually. And thank you very much, Thomas, for this chat. I hope it will be useful for you. Definitely it's useful for the ecosystem to get to know each other and to know what we do, and more things to come. For the moment, thank you. Stay safe and keep working hard. You're doing great. Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you, Leonardo. Also from my end, really glad that you're putting together all those initiatives. These are really helpful for us, and really appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Great. Thank you. Bye, Thomas.